Hey there, good morning. My name is Shallon, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful Northwoods of Minnesota. I'm here today to talk to you about the first 90 days on eBay, what I've gone through, what it was like starting with nothing, and where to go from here. Things I've learned, things to work on. We're going to go through everything. So, first, though, we need to get inside because it is cold out here. Well, that's better. Okay, so I started eBay on December 10th with 7 listings. I had my account on eBay open since 2019, but I haven't had any sales. I haven't had any purchases made. I'm not even super sure why that account was open. So I wasn't technically a brand new to eBay customer. But I did have no sales, no feedback, no listings, nothing. Started at 0. In the first 90 days on eBay, I had a total of $4,528 in sales. To me, I feel like that's a really good number because my first month, I didn't do anything. I was bamboozled to think eBay was going to be easy. I put out 5 listings, and within a week I sold 2 of them. And I'm like, sweet, this is easy. Put up 2 more listings, so I'm sitting at 5 listings, and nothing happened for the rest of December. Nothing happened. So then after New Year's, I thought, okay, let's get serious here. And by serious, I mean, let's at least keep putting things on eBay for sale. And lo and behold, it worked. The more you add, the more you sell. So January, I went from 300 and roughly $50 in sales for those 2 items. One of them, of course, again, bamboozled by the process. I found an amazing Oakley bag for $70, and I sold it in 4 days for $325. So again, that's not normal. That's not your everyday on eBay, unless you can find those amazing things. So here we are in January. I've bumped up my listings. I haven't necessarily found a consistent process to follow yet. I just, hey, let's work on eBay today. Hey, let's go thrifting today. And, just kind of did whatever. And it paid off a little. I had, looks like, where's my numbers here? 1,100 in sales for January. So that was better. So now we're up to a little over 1,100. So now we're up to about, what did I say? 3, 4, so 15, almost 1,500 in sales for both from December 10th to February 10th. Or 8th or something, whatever it is, 60 days. That's where we're sitting. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this can be full time. I've had a lot of things go out. I went from selling 2 items to selling 37 items. And I thought there's no way, because it was a lot of smaller stuff, sales, which I guess is more common anyways. Like I said, I was bamboozled by that first sale with that Oakley bag. So here I'm trying to go now. What do I do? So I buckled down for the last 30 days. I, for part of the month, I did 5 listings every day, no matter what. Occasionally I would bump that up to 7 or 8 if I had, like a set of stuff, or had gotten brand new, easy to photograph things. Then I did that. I still went sourcing a lot. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I did increase my listings. I increased my sales. I had 46 items that sold through the month of February, all with a higher cost of goods per item, a higher sale price per item, nice and low cost of goods. So it turned out to be a pretty lucrative month for not knowing what I'm doing still. And that brought us up to our $4,528 in total sales for 90 days. Out of that amount, that 4,528, my deposits back from eBay are $2,741. Considering 2/3 of that is from 1 month and the remaining is from the 2 previous months, I feel like growth is there. Growth is happening. Growth is possible. When I reached a point where I just buckled down and like, let's get more listings up every day. I have a huge amount of inventory to work through, simply because it's not feasible to go sourcing regularly. As you saw, we live out in the middle of nowhere. I am 30 minutes from the nearest thrift store, and it is one thrift store. If I go another direction, I'm like 40 minutes from that thrift store, and it's one thrift store. So when I do sourcing, I have to plan a whole day. I leave when the kids go to school, and I don't get home till the last thrift store closes, and I'm walking out the door paying at their closing time. So I source heavily when I go sourcing, but then that gives me enough where I can do my 10 listings a day, every day consistently, without running out of inventory or feeling like I'm getting low. Yeah, so recap, first 90 days, total sales, 4,528 on eBay. No feedback to begin with. I have currently sold 129 total items. I currently have 248 items listed. There was a period there where I felt like I can't keep up with what's selling. I hear that's a good problem to have, so I don't know. But yeah, so in total, I've gone through 377 items, both listed and sold combined, in 3 months' time. So it feels good. I did notice when I reached that 10 listings per day, every day, and stayed consistent there, I have not had a single day without any sales. So that's kind of, that's kind of a nice revelation. Like if I just get my 10 things up every day, I'm guaranteed at least one thing will sell. So it seems. Guarantee is a strong word. But yeah, the last time I have had, I missed a day with sales was February 24th. I didn't get any sales that day. I did have sales the whole week prior, several days prior, but that one day, it's like a reset button for me and something I want to make sure doesn't happen again for ever, preferably, but for a long time again. I was getting a little nervous recently, but it came through and I had actually a pretty nice sale at the end of the night, which was good. So let's break down the numbers a little bit more. Out of that $4,528 in total sales, my total cost of goods is $268, which I got that back in my $2,741 deposits throughout the 90 days. So if I'm at $260 some, I'm still grossing almost $2,500 in taxable income. $2,284 in taxable income for 90 days of selling on eBay and not knowing anything. So that's, we're gonna say that's good. I currently have 30 feedback, all positive, very happy people, and I'm hoping that sticking with my 10 listings every day, I will continue to have at least one sale every day. I'm hoping that between now and next week, when I am 97 days in, let's just say every week, okay, we'll call today 12 weeks. Next week will be 13 weeks. And I'm hoping by the time I am 13 weeks into the process, my March only sales have surpassed any of my previous months. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. You can check back next week and we'll see how that went for me. Now let's talk a little bit about what I did wrong, what went wrong, or what I can do better, or what went really great. So like I said in the beginning, I got bamboozled with a really great sale. Great find, great sale, led me with great expectations that I couldn't duplicate, not yet at least. It's a work in progress. I have found sourcing is key. I've had a couple of bad buys in terms of found something, thought it was really great, came home, listed it, once it sold, once it shipped, all of that, I'm looking at $2 profit. And I'm like, let's not do that. We're not going to do that anymore. So we're going to work on sourcing a little bit better. The key to sourcing well is checking out the sell-through rate, actually making sure what you're finding is selling and looking at more than just the most recent sold item. I have found, before we go any further on with sell-through rate, fourth quarter is deceptive, plain and simple. I was sourcing in December. I was looking at sell-through rates for September, October, November. Holiday shopping. Yeah, it's it's so big compared to every other day of the year. I was sourcing in January and I was looking at sell-through rates for October, November, December. And it's like, why is my item not selling? You know, and okay, patience too. We're going to talk about that. But yeah, so when you're sourcing in December and January and even into February, be very careful of what you're looking at for that sell-through rate. Because I noticed, I started to like analyze why this item had such a huge sell-through rate and why my item was still sitting here. And then I would go back and I'd look at the actual sold dates. And it turns out the majority of those sold dates were prior to Christmas delivery. Okay, so what's that mean moving forward? It's kind of a crapshoot. Who knows when our item's going to sell? Who knows if we're at the right price point because we're not marked up for fourth quarter sales that typically happen? Yeah, so be mindful of that when you're sourcing. What period of time are you sourcing for? And do those sale parameters still apply today? Due to that, I feel like I have some things that are going to sit for a year. We'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's the first thing. Patience on your sales. eBay has this tendency, if you're looking at the app because you're anxious and you want to get sales, it'll say on there, you know, revise these items for whatever reason. You have nothing to revise if you have properly filled out that listing in the first place, but it makes you think you might. After, I feel like it's like 2 weeks, it starts telling you these items may not sell. Drop the price. Well, I picked up that item anticipating it was going to sell in the next 3 months, but now after 2 weeks, you're pestering me, telling me it might not sell. And it gets in your head and you start thinking, well, what if my item doesn't sell? Am I priced too high? Do I need to lower the price? What's going on? And you start to panic over nothing because you are right on target with where you need to be. You just need patience to wait for your sale to come through. And that was a really hard one to learn because I would list things and then I'd move on and then I'd start getting these notifications that it might not sell. And so I was like, well, do I need to lower the price? What's going on? And then it occurred to me, okay, I bought this pair of shoes with a 80% sell-through rate over the course of 90 days. And I've had it listed. When did I list this? And I'd look it up and it's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I need to just ignore that section and move on with my day. My recommendation and what I intend to do moving forward, now that I have realized this problem, is after I hit 6 months on eBay, then I intend to go back to my listings once a month, and anything that is at that 6 month mark or older, I will reevaluate the current sell-through rate, the market demand, pricing, reevaluate the whole listing, and make choices from there. Whether it's lower the price, whether it's maybe add free shipping, changing the price, whatever the change needs to be, I'm not going to touch them for 6 months. Simply because, again, I had a deceptive sell-through rate when sourcing, and B, if you have less than a 100% sell-through rate, it could be at any point beyond that. If you have a 25% sell-through rate, that means there's 100 items listed, 25 of them have sold in the last 90 days. Chances are you could sit on that item for up to a year waiting for it to sell. Knowing these things up front makes it so much easier to get out of your head and ignore eBay when they're pushing you to lower your prices continuously until it sells. So that was a huge one for me to learn. And then the last thing that I feel like I need to work on is sourcing to a point. I have found a few thrift stores that are on my route, hour and a half or more from home, but their prices are amazing. I get shoes and clothes for 30 cents a piece, maybe upwards of $1 at some of them. I get media for less than a quarter all day long. I get old tech, less than $5 all day long. So I mean, there's a lot of really good pricing there. These thrift stores, when it comes to pots and pans, they don't care if it's a vintage, made in the USA, stainless steel copper bottom pan, or if it's a cheap $20 for an entire set, college geared set from Walmart. I mean, they don't care. They price them all the same. So huge scores. Because of that, I have probably 1,000 items waiting to be listed already. We're 90 days in, and I have at least 1,000 items already waiting to be listed. So I don't want to list everything all at once, because then I have to go sourcing again. But at the same time, I don't want to have 1,000 items in my backlog. So I oversourced in the beginning. I've cut way back on that over the last few weeks. So it's getting better. But it's a problem. And just because you see something cheap doesn't necessarily mean you should buy it. Now, I am a firm believer in these deals aren't always going to be there, especially thrift stores, especially garage sales, estate sales. You have to buy it when you see it. But you have to make sure that when you're buying something, is when you have a bunch at home, make sure you're only buying the cream of the crop, the things that you know are going to sell at the price point you want, versus it's only 30 cents. I can easily sell it for $10. That's a huge return on my money. It's a huge return on your 30 cents. It's a very low return on your time processing that item. So those are things to think about. I do think for sourcing well, I've done a good job at that. I have every single item I've listed so far. It gets views immediately. It gets watchers immediately. When I'm pricing, I don't price at the lowest end. I don't want to be the one bringing the market down, but I'm not going to price at the high end either, because I'm not in a position to sit and wait for things to sell. My goal is to hit a $50,000 sales year, my first year on eBay, because that will tell me that this is doable with us and our lifestyle. And I don't have to go work for someone else next year, which, I mean, that's my deadline. Teenage high school kids next year, I got to go work somewhere. So I'm doing this first to hope it works out. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought completely. Let's just move on to what's worked well. What has worked well for me is continuously striving to get good photos. I feel okay. I have a camera, a really great camera. It got dropped, it got broke, took it apart, fixed it, reassembled it, but now it randomly turns pictures kind of a blue hue. So, or it just randomly won't focus. So there's a struggle in that. And then I have different spots. My clothing, my plush, my shoes, they're all in the house. The hard goods are in the garage, because the garage is shared with my husband and his fun stuff. So I don't want my clothes and shoes and plush to smell like the garage. So now I have not only like photographing in the garage, I have photographing in the house. But it can't just be like, here's my photographing station, because my jackets don't fit in the same space that my shoes and plush use. So it's kind of a burden. But continuously working on getting those pictures good, doing everything in my power that day to make sure I have really good, clean, clear pictures, I think is huge. I have listed things that have a very poor sell-through rate, in my opinion, but I really liked the item, so I grabbed it anyways. Or I sourced it really early on before I knew more. But because I had good pictures, I'm shocked my item sold in a week or two. And I go back and I look, and all the comparable pictures, like a denim jacket, they're laying on the floor, crumpled up, hanging over the back of a chair, poor lighting, just, it doesn't have to be professional. Your photos can be in your home. Use your walls, use your doors, use your floor, but make the item itself look nice. If you're selling a t-shirt, don't just kind of shape it like a t-shirt on the floor and then take a picture. Make it nice and crisp. I think that's helped. And I think continuously striving towards those good photographs will help me. I also think that my need to be so thorough on my listings has helped a lot too. If it's got a category and I know the answer for that category, I'm going to fill it in. And I think that helps with the search engines, helps bring your item to the top. So I've done that well. The other thing that I feel like is working for me is every listing I put out there, I do a 2% sponsored ad, whatever they call it, rate, no matter what it is or whatever category it's in. The only exceptions are if I have a seasonal item, like a Halloween or Christmas item. I'm not going to do that right now. Why would I list seasonal items right now? Well, at one point I only had so many things and a couple of them were seasonal. Again, deceptive fourth quarter sell-through rate. Yeah. So those things I'm not going to sponsor right now. I will, however, middle to end of third quarter, sponsor those if needed so that they get to the top. Or maybe I'll end and relist at that point. My goal right now is to get it from my unlisted to my listed, regardless of use or season. Because things do sell year round. All things sell year round. I've purchased sandals in the middle of winter when it's 20 below out here, because I know I want them for later. I've also purchased winter coats in July when I know I'm not going to use it for 4 months, simply because it was what I wanted and the price was right. So things do sell year round. So keep that in mind. Don't be hung up on the current and the now. Do be hung up on the current and the now. Don't only be hung up on the current and the now. Think about the whole year. Think about getting your seasonal out before that holiday, but not necessarily super early like I did because of deceptive sell-through rates. Cannot express enough how devastating I was when I realized my sell-through rates was based on holiday shopping. Oh. Anyways, so yeah, that's about where I'm at for my first 90 days on eBay. I could talk for days and days about all the trials and tribulations, everything that's gone good, but I don't want to make the video too long. We can tackle another topic along with the store progress next week, and and see where we go. Hopefully listings keep growing, sales keep growing. That would be a really great thing. All right, so hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to follow with me next week and see where we go from here. Thanks, guys. Bye.